What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Harrison's Garage. It is like 100 degrees outside, but these guys have just arrived and I don't really want to wait to put them on. What we've got are two tips, both by LCGP. They're just some of the cheaper tips that you can find on Amazon. I don't know if I'm going to upgrade these at all in the future or not. These guys are cheap, and that's kind of why I got them. I just wanted to see, one, what size I should get and what would look best on the truck for what we're doing, and decided to get both a 4-inch to 6-inch and a 4-inch to 7-inch. I did initially purchase the 8, and that was just too much. I've got the truck over there. I got a certain look going on. It's nice and clean. I want to keep it that way. But what we're going to be doing today is an axle dump. And I know, before you guys persecute me in the comments, I actually have a reason for doing this. So reason for doing this, I'll throw a picture up in the corner, but essentially the way the exhaust comes out now, as I back down the driveway at my mom's place, I burn every single one of her cypress trees that I stop in front of. So the idea is, with the axle dump, this will, currently blow out that way. Axle dump, I'm just gonna cut it right at that green tape line, and it'll drop straight down. Exhaust will kind of go that way. I still have all the emission stuff intact. Nothing is changing there. I'm simply shortening the pipe about 2 feet and changing the angle of the tip. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this cut with the Sawzall and meet back up with you when I've got the tip set up there. Okay, just got the exhaust tip sawed off here. If you're using a Sawzall like I was, it helps if you have a fresh blade. I do not. It took a little bit to get started on the cut, but once you got through the first, through the initial start, and you were kind of into the pipe, it went real fast. So really the hardest part was just finding the best angle to reach it. And speaking of that, I don't know if you can tell, but I've got the airbags inflated to 70 psi. This makes maneuvering under here a heck of a lot easier. Back end's 3 inches higher, so if you have airbags, feel free to do that. If you don't have airbags and you want to put them on, I will put a tag to the airbag install video up in the corner here. So I'm going to go ahead and take this tape off, and I think maybe clean out, just with a quick rag, just clean out some of this stuff and deburr it a little bit on the exterior edge, and then meet back with you when I've slid the 7-inch tip on and see how we like it. Okay guys, I've got the 7-inch tip on here, and I think I'm gonna go with that for now. I might change this out for the 6 later. The 7 doesn't look that massive under here. It is bigger, but the 6 is just a little bit more subtle. I'll see how it looks when I drop it down. It's quite secure. The only complaint I found on these LCGP tips online was that these clamp, I guess these nuts, this nut that's tack welded to the clamp, some people found that they snapped off just tightening this down. I hand tightened this using a socket, and you can tell there's quite a bit of deflection between the bolt head and the pass-through that's welded to this thing, so I'll keep an eye on that. I may end up needing to get a clamp, like a pipe clamp for this, which I probably will. But other than that, the actual sort of quality of the tip appears to be quite good. So I'm going to give this a start, and we'll see how it sounds. And I can confirm that, being an emissions intact truck, this sounds exactly the same as it did before, just because there's not really any sound coming out to begin with, so you're not really changing anything. Shortening the tailpipe on something that's not letting out any sound, you're not going to have any sound. But it does look better. So what I'm going to do is slowly drop these bags down. I'll probably do that off camera. Just want to keep my eyes open, make sure this tip isn't going to hit anything on the way down. and I'll come back with you just to show you how it looks once we are, you know, fully dropped down. Okay, truck is all the way back down at 5 psi in the bags, and you know, I never really noticed how much I didn't care for the exhaust tailpipe. Since it is a black tip, you can't really see it back in here, which, you know, I like it. It kind of continues to keep the subtle look. I'll see how this weathers. You know, hopefully it stays black and all that. If not, I might look at buying the MBRP tips. We'll see. But yeah, that's, you know, the truck all the way back down. The tip is above this joint, which I like. It's not, you know, hanging down below. I don't think it'll be hitting anything on the road. So it's still a subtle sort of appearance. Looking back in through the wheel well, it's tucked in nicely there. So I'm actually more pleased with how this turned out than I was anticipating. I was quite worried this would look a little bit on the bro truck side, and I may end up going down to the 6-inch, but for now I'm pretty pleased with this. I'll see how it drives and feels, but I think it should be exactly the same. So yeah, quite pleased. Alright guys, that'll do it. That was the install of the sort of black tip on the exhaust. I ended up going and sticking with the 4 to 7 inch. I'll see how it looks in the morning, see if it's any different in the sun. But the way it sits now, I'm really pleased with that. So again, got the LCGP tips from Amazon. I'll throw a link down in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, found it helpful, want to see any more sort of pictures of these, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, follow me on Instagram at harrisons.thegarage, and as always, stay tuned for more.